So free agency started midnight last or today, technically July 1st. And nothing all too surprising. A lot of guys that we know were going to stay with their teams have. I don't think there's been any big surprises, but the Sixers did lose Ilyasova to Milwaukee, and we lost Bellinelli to the Spurs, which is no big deal. I don't think I would have rather have kept Ilyasova just for the sheer fact that he plays decent defense and can step in there for the charge, do all the dirty work. I could care less that we lost Bellinelli. He had that good 2 months for us. Went cold during the playoffs, so it is what it is. We just got to surround our team with more shooters and see what happens. Now the trade talks between, obviously, as you've been living under a rock, Sixers been in some major talks with the Spurs to acquire Kawhi Leonard, and same with LeBron James. This has been a long-awaited offseason, and I don't think this is going to happen quickly. For anybody that thought a decision would be made with them, a big surprise with Paul George though staying with OKC. I didn't think he'd go to the Lakers possibly, but for him to stay in OKC, I didn't think that was a possibility at all. But Westbrook must have thrown a hell of a party. I don't see LeBron really going to LA now just because of that. But per ESPN, the Spurs request for the Sixers is at least 3 first-round picks and 2 players. So we know the 2 players are more than likely probably going to be Dario Saric and Robert Covington. Sixers came out and said that Embiid, Fultz, Simmons are all untouchable. They're not going to be included. Oh my God, LeBron did sign with the Lakers. Holy crap. What the hell? Whoa. Okay. Wow. That's crazy. LeBron did go to the Lakers. Well, I can eat crow now. But anyway, the focus on the Sixers acquiring Kawhi Leonard, it kind of worries me because, one, we don't have a GM, and to be over aggressive in what the Sixers are going to do, we should be in the driver's seat right now. That to where we have the leverage. We don't have to really make a push and get Kawhi Leonard. Why should we have to give up so much to acquire Kawhi Leonard for what? For one, we don't know if he's going to guarantee and sign with the team. Yeah, Sean, I could care less that LeBron signed with the Lakers. It is what it is. I didn't think he was going to come here anyway. I didn't want him, but for us to be able to give up 3 first-round picks and give up Dario Saric, he's the odd man out in any situation. So when it comes to contract time, he would be the odd man out. Obviously, you want to lock up JoJo and Simmons for as long as you can for the rest of their careers. But we don't even know if Kawhi Leonard's healthy, for one. It's cool to talk about all these trade scenarios. We can match up with the cap, how much money he's going to get. Will he be extended? The guy only played 9 games last year. We don't know what that quad's looking like. He could be out. Who's guaranteeing anything he's going to play opening night? We don't. So for us to even sit there and be so overly aggressive with trying to acquire Kawhi, it's a little asinine. It worries me a little bit. And Brett is so hungry to star hunt, like he had said during the draft, that it worries me that they're going to be overly aggressive. I mean, there's been other teams that are interested in Boston and obviously LA. He had come out and said he wanted to sign out with LA, but Paul George said that too. So you really don't know how much surface that really, how much context that really holds. But just for anybody that didn't hear, LeBron James signed a 4-year deal, $154 million with the Lakers. So he is out in LA. They gave him all that money. So we'll see what happens with it. He went to the West. I'm very surprised he went out to LA. That's crazy. But, for us to acquire Kawhi, yeah, it would make a lot of sense. He's a defensive guy. We need a wing scorer. But I think that's way too much to pay over for a guy that we don't know is going to re-sign here. And the Sixers, per, ESPN 2, they don't care if they don't get a commitment from Kawhi. They're just seems to be happy with a 1-year rental of Kawhi. I guess they feel like they can pitch him and feel like they'll be able to re-sign him for a 4-year deal or do whatever it takes to acquire him. But what worries me is that quad. I don't know if he's healthy. I don't know if he's going to be ready for opening night. The guy has never played a full season in his entire career, 7-year career. So why are we giving up 3 first-round picks? Yeah, I saw that, Josh. Three first-round picks and two pieces. I know there's a lot of hate for Covington, but he got all defensive first team. He's a streaky shooter, but he's a defenseman that could really help our team and has. Uh, you can take it what it is, but his defense is really solid throughout the season. But Dario, I think, is a really nice piece, too. I don't think we have to be overly aggressive to acquire this. We're in the driver's seat. It's up to the Spurs to try to convince us to take him. So I'm not giving up 3 first-round picks to acquire Kawhi Leonard. It's just not going to happen. Kyle, what do you do about our bench? I mean, we have to get shooters. And I wonder – I mean, it was a far chance that we were going to land LeBron anyway. I don't know if it really appealed to him coming in here. I mean, the whole thing with him wanting to make movies. He's got a home out there. He wants to do business when he's out in LA for his kids. His kids creating a super team out there in high school. But I think it's all about mentoring young LeBron now. Bringing up LBJ, his son, to maybe get in the league, train him, get him ready. And it's glitz and glamour of LA. So – whatever. I'm surprised he didn't stay in the East. I knew he wasn't going to go back to Cleveland. It was a far shot for LeBron to really come here, I thought. It didn't make sense for him to really fit in with us because Ben and him, how would that work? I know he is the best player in the world, but it didn't make sense for me for him to land here. But LeBron James out to the Lakers for $154 million, and he stopped them 2-year deals. So for us to be acquiring Kawhi is the big question mark now. Yeah, the East is just getting worse. So we just lost the best player in the world. I was hoping maybe somebody from the West would come over here to strengthen. But this is good news for the Sixers. It's one less person we have to get through now. Sean, I really would like for us to go after Aaron Gordon. Wouldn't mind going after him. I wanted Will Barton, but he's off the table. He re-signed with the Nuggets. You got to get these guys. You're going to have to surround these players with shooters. So we need to acquire athletic bigs that can really guard the paint, get in there, shot block, and that's what I'm looking for. And shooters. We need to surround this team with shooters. So inevitably, we're going to pay for J.J. Redick now that we just lost out on LeBron James. I think he's still going to get a big payday just so we can acquire him, keep him in-house. So he might get another big payday now that we've got some money to spend, but who else is out there? They were pushing for LeBron. They were saving the cap space for LeBron. And also, we lost Bayless's contract. We bought him out. So there's some money there. Who's playing for us in the Summer League? Well, Fultz isn't going to be playing for us in the Summer League, which is no big deal. I'm happy with that decision. I think he should just stay out in Vegas and work on his shot with Hamlin. So I'm cool with that. But we got Shamet. Shake Milton hurt himself. He fractured his back. So he's going to be out. And then we got Zaire Smith. So that starts Friday at 4:30. We're playing Boston. But if you look at it, Boston wasn't willing to give up a blockbuster trade to acquire Kawhi Leonard. So you look at a novice and somebody that's really eager to make a big splash, and Brett Brown is being interim GM, and then you've got a seasoned vet like Danny Ainge up there who's not willing to give up. He's not going to budge just to acquire Kawhi Leonard, and I think it's smart. And it might bite us in the ass to be overly aggressive to acquire Kawhi Leonard just to have him for a 1-year rental, because I don't think we'll be able to have him to re-sign, but the injury is the big concern for me. So LBJ, though, signing with the Lakers for $154 million. I didn't know if he was going to do another one-and-one deal with his contract so he can control his fate even more, but I guess he just figures he's 33. I'll just get my big payday now and end his career out there in the City Angels. But, that's one big if we don't get Kawhi, our season is a fail. How so, Josh? I don't think it is. Yeah, at this point, I'm keeping our guys in the 2020. Yeah, I'm keeping it. It's always good to acquire assets. You stay relevant and you stay on top by acquiring assets. Getting draft picks. If you can sign a big free agent, land a big free agent, that's the main goal. But for you to be able to mortgage and get rid of 3 or 4 players and a couple first-round picks to acquire one guy that you're not positive is going to stay here for a 1-year rental, It's crazy to me. I'm not doing it. Yeah, there's some good free agents in 2019. That's what I mean. We don't have to reach for the stars and go after Kawhi Leonard. There's no point. So you can wait for the 2019 class. Klay Thompson's out there. I don't know if we'll be able to land him. I think that's a big if. But at some point, I believe Klay and Draymond might want to leave and get max contracts, hopefully. But if you want to, why would you leave that situation out there in Golden State? They're just going to keep paying luxury tax after luxury tax after luxury tax. But we are in the driver's seat right now. I hope Philly's not over aggressive and gives too much up to acquire Kawhi, who's, again, played 9 games. We don't have the quotas, so I'm not doing it. But LeBron James, man. Do you guys like Korkmaz and Bolden becoming major players off the bench? I mean, Korkmaz is unknown. The same with Bolden. You've seen what they did on tape, but they haven't really had a big sample size, so we don't know what they're going to be like. We can't really depend or rely on them being major pieces off the bench. You still have to make a splash in free agency. Again, LeBron was the biggest piece. And I thought the Sixers figured if they did acquire Kawhi Leonard, that LeBron James would just be a shoo-in to come here, which isn't the case. Let's just keep building. Let's just get some shooters and let our young guys continue. I agree, dude. 100%. Just keep our young core. What team has ever really went over the top by trying to land a giant free agent through trade? We haven't been successful with it. Every trade we've ever done, we've been on the losing end. With Allen Iverson, lost that trade. Charles Barkley, lost that trade. When we acquired Andrew Bynum, garbage. So track record shows we are not successful at doing that. Now, back in the 80s, we acquired Moses Malone, but I wasn't around for that. So I'm not sure what we gave up to acquire him, but in recent history, other than Moses Malone, what have we done that's been successful in the trading block? Not jersey for Gaffner. Yeah, I wasn't getting it anyway, dude. So I'm happy LeBron didn't come here. We better not go out and try to make some. Yeah, that's what I'm worried about, TTB Ballin. That now that LeBron's off the shelf, that we're just gonna go all in and go after Kawhi and give him these 3 first-round picks, Dario and Rocco. I'm not all about it. Let the Spurs come to you and come to a negotiation. They're going to pull the wool over Brett's eyes and really freaking – they're going to D-block his ass for sure. Oh, he signed as a free agent in 83, Sean? I thought they traded for him. I hope not, Josh. I don't want Kawhi Leonard. I swear to God, if they make a desperate move just to acquire him just because LBJ's off, there's no way. You sit here, you develop your players, you look at the success that teams have had just by drafting it. Golden State, in recent memory, is one. Everybody's pissed that we didn't get LeBron James. It wouldn't have mattered because even if we did land LeBron, it wasn't going to be enough to beat Golden State next year anyway. So who cares if we would have signed LeBron? You would have had to land yet another possible superstar, but there's no proof that if we did acquire LeBron that Kawhi was going to be a shoo-in, or vice versa. If we landed Kawhi, that LeBron was just automatically going to sign here. No move for Kawhi unless he resigns or extends right now. Yeah, but per ESPN, TTP Ballin, that the Sixers are willing to give up those 3 first-round picks and the 2 players, regardless of a commitment from Kawhi. So they don't care. They're just doing anything to land a superstar here. They're going to go all in, and I think it's going to screw us over if we do that. It will set us back in the process if we do that. So LeBron be getting warmly at Wells Fargo next year? Probably not, but who cares? I don't know if I guess everybody thought that this was definitely going to happen, that LeBron was going to be here. Everybody assumed that LeBron was just definitely going to be here because it was the best situation in the East. You had the 2 young stars in JoJo and Ben Simmons, but you got to look at it from his point of view. What's best for his camp? And just coming to the Sixers, I feel like wouldn't have done that. I don't know if he's even chasing championships anymore. He might just be looking to pad his legacy and look towards the future. That's what this move tells me. That's what it does. Because if you put LeBron with the talent that they have out there now in LA, it's not enough. And now I don't know if LA's going to make a push to get Kawhi Leonard. That could be a possibility. Now that LeBron signed there, maybe the Spurs contact, but it's going to be a huge mega deal. You're going to lose Ingram, Randall, Ball. So who knows? They might be in the driver's seat right now because they missed out on Paul George last year. LA might be looking to be overly aggressive and go all in and go after and get Kawhi to play with LeBron out there. But I'm cool with this. I think this is a great day for us that we didn't get LeBron James. Awesome. I don't think he does. I don't think he's chasing championships. He's got nothing else to prove. He's one of the top 3 players to ever play the game. He's looking towards the future now. I know, again, he wants to build his business out there. He wants to be in movies. He wants to do all that stuff. And eventually, I believe he's going to own a team. He's following in Magic Johnson's footsteps. So what better way to learn than go out to LA and be under the tutelage of Magic? Do you think we can get the Greek Freak next year? Possibility. I mean, I don't know. Depends. If Brett gives up all those assets for a huge question mark and Leonard, just the sake of signing a big name, yeah, exactly, Sean. We're on the Lakers. Yeah, I know. I saw. It's crazy. Crazy. So LeBron definitely is looking towards the business end of his future. I don't think he's going there. Doesn't show me that you're trying to win championships because you go out to the West, which is 10 times harder than the East. Obviously, he's looking for a team, though, where he doesn't have to do all the work. So I don't blame him for obviously leaving the East and leaving Cleveland. He's going to go over there. But you look at the Rockets. They were one game away from upsetting that giant out there. But going to the Lakers, LeBron doesn't put them in any chance to be nothing more than possibly an 8 seed. The West is tough. It always has been. Been for the past 15 years that I can remember. I don't know how it was back in the day, but as long as I've been alive, the West has always been stronger than the East. Always. So you go out there, putting him with Lonzo Ball. He's going to be able to work off it. He doesn't have to create all the time. But look for the Lakers to make a huge push to get Kawhi now. Does Boogie join him out there too? Yeah, that's true, TT Ball. And they could go after Boogie Cousins too. I don't know if that helps his camp into making a decision, but Boogie's going to have to talk to Anthony Davis and say, hey, are you going to be, looking to re-sign here long term, or am I going to go out to LA? If they can get Boogie, that might put them in contention to at least be in the playoffs if they can land Boogie Cousins. If Redick resigns, does he come off the bench? I'd rather have him come off the bench because I want Fultz starting. Definitely. I definitely want Fultz to start, even though he's not going to play in the summer league. He's going to work on his shot. But now it's time for the young guns to come over and take this game over. And we're going to be the new kings of the East. And at least LeBron's out of the East. This is good news for us. Good news for the Sixers. We should trade for Bradley Beal. Why? We got Fultz. I heard Bowie might not be healthy enough to play till January. Well, that's a huge injury he's coming off of. Achilles is almost like a career ender. Kind of like the ACL was back in the day. Now it's time for me to leave. Yeah, it's kind of like the ACL was back in the day, but he's not going to get a big contract. He might get a 1-year deal, just like a prove-it deal to see if he's healthy enough and being able to compete, and we'll see. I love to have LeBron, but I really think he'll be okay. Yeah, he didn't go to Philly. That's awesome. I'm happy he didn't come to Philly. I don't know. Who cares? I didn't want him in Philly anyway. I'm glad he didn't come. I'm glad he went out to the West and signed with LA. But puts LA back on the map. Again, the league is always better. When LA was in it, they're trying to bring all those old rivalries back, all those teams. Yeah, sure. What are you talking about, bro? Obviously, you haven't been watching this channel because I never wanted LeBron here from day one. Did it break your heart that Aaron Baines resigned with Boston? I hate that man bun, Sean. That dude's a noodle. Oh, well, it's not like LeBron is the only free agent out there. Yeah, I don't know why everybody's so butthurt over LeBron not coming here. Who cares? He wasn't going to put us over, he wasn't going to put us over the top and put us into we'd be able to beat Boston, but we're not beating Golden State with just LeBron James. So who cares? And you look at it, Yeah, he had his best career at 33, but at some point he's going to start to decline. Father Time beats us all. Not like he's the best player on the planet or anything. Yes, so what? Just by injecting him into Philly, he's automatically going to bring us a championship. Stop talking, dude. I recently put your video on. Who do you want and who's still available? I really wanted Will Barton. I don't want Kawhi Leonard. There's still free agency. I think there's interest from the Sixers and Tyler Ennis from the Pistons that I've heard, but we got to surround this team with shooters now. LeBron chooses a 28-win team over a 52-win team. Plus, he's not looking, Randy, he's not looking towards winning championships. This move just shows me that he's looking towards his son's career, looking forward to what he's going to do in the future. This move just tells me that he has nothing else to prove. He brought a championship to Cleveland. He won 2 at Miami. He's won 3 championships. So he's not chasing MJ's ghost like we all thought he was. Hey, the Sixers took a shot. He chose LA. What can you do? Exactly. You move on. Who cares? We had a shooter in Bridges and traded him for a non-shooter in Smith. I get that, but you can teach shooting, Brian. You can learn. He's a defenseman. He's a lot more athletic than Mikal Bridges. Now, Mikal Bridges is obviously a better shooter at this point. Philly media and fans created LeBron and the Sixers talk out of nowhere. I didn't think he was getting a chance. We ain't getting Kawhi either. Yeah, I know. You know, everybody just thought it was a match made in heaven because of the assets and the pieces that we had here, and they thought by injecting the best player on the planet that it would all of a sudden put us over the top and win us the championship. But regardless if we did land LeBron, it's not going to bring you a championship to beat that beast out west. Resign Redick, sign Tariq Evans, sign shooters. We just got to get shooters at this point, Randy. Now Redick is a priority, and I think he's going to get paid again a little more than what we would like. We have money spent. We got $26 million in the cap, and you look at LA; they had $50 million to spend almost. So by signing LeBron for $154 million, you know, it puts them back in the limelight, puts them back on top. But they're going to bring back the Bostons, the Sixers. I'm still more concerned about our bench. Yeah, losing Ilyasova I thought was a little bit of a big deal. But LA is going to be looking to be big spenders. They're trying to get them back into contention, back on top. Like I said, they're going to bring back the old rivalries. The Pistons, or not the Pistons, the Sixers, Boston, LA, the old tutelage teams. But not surprised that he signed with LA. This is great news for the Sixers, though. I'm so stoked. Is not happy YouTuber tonight. Oh, he's not? Is he pissed that LeBron's not coming? I know Adrian's probably not happy either. I really don't want to lose Dario. I don't either, but when it comes to it, we could lose Dario regardless, Jesse. What do you need to sign as a GM? Who do we need to sign? Sixers were also possibly waiting to sign a GM to give that decision to LeBron. Like, they were doing everything possible to get LeBron James here, and it didn't work out. But, you know, Will Barton was a guy I really wanted to go after, but he re-signed with the Nuggets. You know, I'm trying to think who else. There is Tyreek Evans, but I'm not a big fan. Don't really want him to come here. He's a bit of a streaky shooter and a defensive liability. Aaron Gordon, I think, would be a good fit here. Opinion on PG-13 staying with. I was surprised, Brian, that he signed with PG-13, and that was also something people created to think that, oh, LeBron's definitely coming here now. He's not going to go out to LA because PG-13 didn't go out there. LeBron could care less what anybody else is doing. LeBron's going to do what's best for LeBron. And it had nothing to do and waiting for what PG-13 did or what Kawhi was going to do. He was going to do what's best for his camp and best for his future, and he made that decision. So we just got to live with it, and it is what it is. But I know there's going to be a lot of butthurt Sixers fans out there, but we got to build off what we did last year. You build off of the 52-win game season. You know, first round win in the playoffs. JoJo and Ben got some experience under the belt. We got Fultz coming back. We got to see what he's going to be able to do. And we possibly keep Dario. We just keep building with the future. We obtained an asset, that Miami pick, which could still be used in a Kawhi Leonard trade. That's what's been worrying me, not the whole LeBron saga. What's going to go down with the Spurs and Kawhi Leonard? We could possibly acquire this cat Would he be a great fit if he's healthy? Absolutely. I'm only doing that trade if we get an extension and we know 100% that he's going to be starting opening night. Who's the backup center? Please. Amir Johnson's gone, Sean. So that's why we have to go get some more athletic bigs. If we could go after an Aaron Gordon, I think he'd be a great fit. He's a 3 and D. His shot has gotten better over the years, but he's an athletic big. He can rebound. He'd be really good in this up tempo offense. Yeah, I heard that too, Brian. But I think he would be good because he can switch and guard multiple positions. Now LeBron James has to carry the Lakers just like he did the Cavs. Not as much, though. But still wait to see what happens with the Lakers because they could still make a push to obtain Kawhi. If they're only asking for 2 players and 3 first-round picks, the same with what they asked from us, you could have Kawhi Leonard, LeBron James, Lonzo Ball. And I would assume if they are asking for 2 players that Ingram and Kuzma would have to be the top 2. And they resigned Julius Randle. But they're still Lakers are nothing more than possibly a top 10 team. If they keep their youth with LeBron, they're not a playoff team. But that just puts them on the map. They'll be on a lot of primetime games now that LBJ is out there in LA. No free agents choke, thank you. Are you pissed, Maurice, that we haven't signed anything? I had a feeling this was going to happen. I don't know if you guys remember me saying it, but I believe that we were going to have a quiet offseason. I had never thought we were going to get LeBron. Dude, it's no big deal. You really thought by landing LeBron it was going to put us over the top to win a chip? Look at it this way, too, Maurice. If we did sign LeBron James to that same contract, it would handcuff us for the future to be able to retain JoJo, Ben Simmons, and possibly other players going down the line. Lakers are a playoff team, but they aren't. I missed your question. If you could put that back up again, I'm sorry, bro. But breaking news: LeBron James, if you're just tuning in, signed with the Lakers 4 years, $154 million. It's a lot of money. Puts him in the City of Angels, all the glitz, the glamour. They haven't landed a top free agent in a long, long time. So for Magic Johnson to be able to pull this off, he said he was going to quit his job as a GM if he couldn't land a superstar. And he pulled some strings. It was just a comment, not a question. Oh, could you repeat it, Evan? I'm sorry. I felt like LeBron could have upped the process. He's a great player and could have been a good mentor for Simmons and Fultz. Yeah, but Simmons still trains with him in the offseason, so he could still be a good mentor to him. I just don't know how him and Ben Simmons would be able to play together. I know it looks good on paper, and you figure LeBron can play with anybody, but they both have to be effective to have the ball in their hands. And I just couldn't see LeBron taking a back seat to just become a shooter and Ben Simmons, he can work off the ball a little bit, but for him to really be effective since he has no shot, he has to have the ball in his hands 24/7. So you bring in LeBron, who's virtually has to do the same thing. It's just not good for us. LeBron always time. Lakers are a playoff team, but not a threat to win at all. Right, and it puts them back in the limelight by landing LeBron James. It's good for the league. Let's sign 2 and 3rd string players now. Whoopee, let's get pumped. There's still talent out there, Maurice. Don't get butthurt, bro. Yeah, I agree. LeBron would have taken over the majority of the role over Simmons, and it would have hurt his development, in my opinion. Lakers aren't in championship. Yeah, but guys, he's not. Look at it this way: he's not chasing championships anymore. What else does he have to prove? What? He's won 3 championships. He brought one to the city of Cleveland, who hadn't won a championship since Jim Brown was a freaking mogul out there. So you're talking the '60s. He's got nothing else to prove. He owns almost every stat line in the NBA. He's going to continue to pad his stats, and then he's going to learn under Magic Johnson to run a team at some point, and he's looking towards his son's future. It would have hurt his development somehow. Again, LeBron can still mentor Ben Simmons since they train with each other in the offseason. This isn't as bad as everyone is making it out to be. Sixers don't have to worry about the Cavs anymore. We didn't have to spend a shit ton of money for old LeBron. Exactly. You don't have to worry about LeBron possibly knocking you out in the Eastern Conference Finals. We could put our focus on Boston now fully. They're still the team to beat. But if we did sign LeBron James, all we were doing is beating Boston. That's it. So to get to the championship and just lose, it's not good enough in my opinion. And spending all that money to obtain a player, even though he had his best season at 33, he's going to start to decline at some point. And to invest all that money in an older player, it's not worth it, in my opinion. Let the Lakers piss their money away. Ways to get ahead of the Celtics. We have to. I don't think we have to add superstar power, in my opinion. I think we're good. I don't want to reach for Kawhi. Zaire starting. No, I don't think Zaire's going to start in the beginning of the year. It depends how good he does in summer league. Maurice, could you repeat that? I missed your comment. I'm sorry. NBC sports analyst said is the best. He wouldn't be happy if we had LeBron, but he wouldn't be upset if we didn't get him either. Yeah, everybody should just. Do you think we'll get a superstar? Possibly still acquire Kawhi, but I hope not. I'm good. I think we have two superstars as is. We got really good pieces. We just got to continue to add to our squad. We won 52 games with a young team last year. You acquire good glue pieces, like more shooters other than JJ Redick. Our main focus has to be acquiring shooters. We got 2 defensemen right now, and acquiring more athletic bigs. Tweetergate cost us so much. Next year, get a superstar if we don't get Leonard. Yeah, and look at 2019's class. That's the other thing you got to look at. You've got a lot of stars. You got Giannis coming out, Klay Thompson. I know those are the 2 big names. I think there's a couple more, if I'm not mistaken. But there's still possibility to land more superstars. Everybody wants more superstars. But it might look good on paper. Just because you have stars, though, all on the team doesn't mean you're going to automatically win a championship. Best way, in my opinion, I've always thought this way, is to build through the draft. You're young. You have everybody under control for a while. You don't have these huge contracts killing you. Do you see there starting? Never wanted LeBron. I'm glad. Oh, yeah, Kristaps is a free agent next year too, I think, right? But Zaire could start. Again, it depends what Fultz's timeline is with his shot and how he's going to do. Versus Zaire. Zaire could play the 3 at some point. Maybe he beats out Rocco, but we got to see how he plays in Summer League. But I don't think he's going to start. I believe he's going to start coming off the bench. Just like a 2011 Dream Team for the Birds, a team full of stars doesn't always work. Yeah, it looks good on paper. It doesn't convert to the quarter of the field. Kristaps. Kemba, Booker. We're not getting Booker, dude. There's no way. I'd love to have Booker, but he's no. Klay Thompson should be our main focus. I just don't see him leaving that situation out in Golden State. Would you want us to get Kawhi on a good deal? The only way I'm getting Kawhi is if I know 100% that he's healthy and he's going to play day 1 on opening night. That injury really concerns me, and he also hasn't played a full entire season in his career, in his 7-year career. Has never played a full season. So if I'm willing to give up all those picks, if he signs an extension and he's healthy, yep, give all those picks away. And even though I hate to say it because I love the homie, he's the odd man out. I'd be willing to give up Dario if Kawhi's healthy. Because in retrospect, those picks shouldn't mean anything, those first-round picks, because they'll be really low. And it wouldn't benefit the Spurs. But we're in the driver's seat with this. Don't pull the trigger just to be eager because all this is happening in free agency. Trying to land LeBron. But I honestly thought the Sixers thought they'd have a chance to sign. If they traded for Kawhi, they would land LeBron automatically. I'd rather give up Rocco. Yeah, Rocco's definitely in the deal. He frees up even though his contract's very reasonable. He'd be involved in that trade for Kawhi. So now that's the real storyline to follow here. Is what's gonna happen with the Sixers. I just pray that they're not overly aggressive. I really hope not, just to land somebody. A guy that played 9 games with a quad injury that we don't even know if it depreciates his muscles or not. Hey, what happened to the 7-foot foreign guy we had? Andres something. Andres Pashnish. He's still over in Europe developing. The poor man Porzingis. Lakers signed Caldwell Pope too. they're going after Aaron Gordon and Boogie. I heard they're just going to be throwing money left and right at it. So we're looking at the old Lakers now, folks, throwing money at it. What do you think Bolden's role will be? I think he's going to come off the bench to be backup for Dario at this point. He's a nice athletic big and can handle the ball and can shoot a little bit, but we don't know how his game's going to convert to the NBA, so we can't bank on him. Honestly, I would avoid Leonard. Too risky. Yeah, Sean, I'm with you. Too risky for me, too. That health, we don't know how, what that injury did to him or if he's ever going to be 100%. If the Lakers sign Cousins for a 2+ year deal, everyone needs to go aggressive for Kawhi. I don't think so. I think that's what people want. I think that's what the Spurs are banking on. I don't want to give up on Sarge. I don't think they're giving up on him, but you have to give up a piece to acquire a talent of Kawhi Leonard's. Be it as it may, even if he is injured, you got to give him a player. And Dario is a really good player. He's not great, but he's a really solid role player, and would help us lead us to the promised land, I think. But you have to give somebody up. And if the other three are untouchable, you got nothing else. You have no leg to stand on. I think Dario is such a good pop player. Yeah, he fits the Spurs system, and so does Rocco. Why don't we make a trade this week and guaranteed signing contract? Yep. I read Spurs want 3 first-round picks. Yeah. Evan, I don't know if you're just tuning in. Yeah, I did see that digital print house. But, yeah, they want 2 players, which would probably be Rocco and Sarge, and then 3 first-round picks is what the Spurs are asking from the Sixers. And those picks wouldn't be high other than that 2021 Miami pick. Spurs are trying to sucker teams. They absolutely are, and we're in the driver's seat. They have no leg to stand on because I don't see them re-signing Kawhi. I think that bridge is burned. The kid has not changed since he got in the NBA. He stays true to himself. I mean, the guy's still driving. He's like 2009 Malibu. He's got all that money, and he's still driving, a hoopty, basically. So I feel like he was disrespected, and he's sticking to his guns. And, he's basically saying, screw you. I'm going to go where I want. I'm not going to play for you next year. You're in the position to deal me. But don't be surprised if Kawhi goes to L.A. What's up, Desert Eagle 90? How you doing, bro? But they landed LeBron. This could be a huge step for Magic to pull a twofer here. We don't have too many threes on the roster. What do you think about that? That's why I feel like we have to. I'm going to take these out. I think that's why we have. After a lot of free agents here, to get athletic guys that can guard multiple positions like the Aaron Gordons and all. Because we don't. I still think Zaire could play a 3. It doesn't matter that he's only 6'4". He's got a 6'10" wingspan. That's all that matters is the length of your arms. It's not like you guard them with your head, right? So you could play a little bit of small ball, put Zaire out there on a 3. He's athletic enough to guard them. LeBron move was all business. Yes, it was. How do you think B reacts on Twitter tonight? I don't know. He's the king of Twitter out there. I'm sure he'll have something to say. He might be hurt by LeBron not being able to come out here, but it was a long shot for us to land LeBron. I like Boston. How would you guys feel about signing Jeff Green? He was solid for the Cavs. He's like a lower tier free agent. I don't think he would really move the meter for me. If we sign him towards the end of the year, it's just like a roster spot, but I wouldn't aggressively go after him. He's a little bit older, not the greatest shooter, not the best defender. So I want to stay away from him. There's been links with Jabari Parker. I don't want Jabari. He's too injury prone. He's too injury prone for me to. He'd be a nice punch off the bench, but I'm staying away from injured guys. What do you think about Kyle O'Quinn rumor? Yeah, I don't want Kyle O'Quinn. Who? We're not the 2011 Sixers anymore. We're signing these D-League players. Even for cheap? He's had, 2 ACL tears in the past 3 years? No. Maybe for $5 million, but you can't bank on him being productive. So,
I'm good. Message deleted by Tacos from Desert Eagle. I don't know what he said. But, yeah. So this is good for the league. Definitely good for the league. I never thought he'd go to Houston. I want to see what Houston's going to do because there's been links between them and Clint Capella, too. The Lakers are going to try to buy themselves into a playoff. Jew pizza for extra and Frank. How to make a Jew pizza. Is Bolden playing Summer League? I haven't heard anything, Sean. I'd like for him to play Summer League just to see what we got. The East is open. Yep, this is great news. Everybody should be happy that LeBron left the East. LeBron in the same division as the Warriors. Yeah, he is. Yes, he is. The next best thing from signing with the Warriors, get destroyed by them. But he's got nothing else to prove, so it don't matter. He don't care. He's got money now. He's going to learn under Magic Johnson. He's looking towards his future. He's got nothing else to do in the NBA. Nothing else to prove. Not chasing MJ. That's what this tells me. Bet Mr. Bell's cream shorts. Lobo, the Celtics. So what kind of free agent should we be looking for? JM, we should be looking for, if you're just tuning in, athletic bigs that can defend multiple positions. I think we need another shot blocker, to tell you the truth. When Embiid goes out, we get murdered. People go to the paint, kill us. Holmes is a nice energy guy, but he's a defensive liability, so we got to get another shot blocker on this team. Do they keep Ball? Are you talking about the Lakers? Yeah, they're not going to get rid of Lonzo Ball. I don't think so. LeVar says the Lakers are winning it next year. Yeah, LeVar also said that his other son was a top 5 pick. He's just talking at his ass now. Now I know he's going to say Lonzo's going to make him better. Is Fultz playing Summer League? No, Anthony, he's not. He's going to stay out in Vegas and work on his shot. Fultz is not playing in Summer League. And Shake Milton, our second-round pick, is also not playing in Summer League. So we got Zaire Smith, Landry Shamet, and possibly Bolden. Celtics can be beat though. They are a top, no doubt, but they can be beat. Of course they can. Yeah, I'm glad he went to LA. Congratulations. I'm extremely happy that he went. I'm glad you guys signed him. And I hope you go after Kawhi too. So please take that off our hands as well. Please, LA, go reach for a bottom 10 seed. You should definitely do that. Did ESPN report the signing of LeBron? Yeah, it's official. Could we pursue Boogie? I don't think so. He wouldn't play well with JoJo. Are you going to break down the Summer League? I'm going to try. I'll be in Brooklyn next week. So I don't know if I'll be able to catch. I might have to record the games. But I always try to catch Summer League. But I'm so ecstatic that LeBron went to LA. Like, I can't begin to express how happy I am that he didn't come to the Sixers. So happy. This is awesome. This benefits us so much. By not having to worry about LeBron playing here and, really hampering Ben's development and eating up a ton of cap space for us to be able to sign people later on down the road. How would the Lakers get a bottom 10 seed with LeBron and Kawhi when they're a 10 seed this year? Well, they didn't get Kawhi yet, but I just don't see having LeBron there put them into a... What do you think, the Lakers are going to be a top 3 team or something by signing LeBron? Really? I don't see it. They ain't winning the championship. But the East isn't necessarily open like the Eagles and the Rams or Vikings. Just because they're beatable doesn't mean it will be easy. I know. It's definitely not going to be easy. But it's one less hurdle the Sixers have to worry about, having to face LeBron. Say he did sign with another team in the East. And you still have to worry about getting past him. Now we can just solely focus on the Celtics. Beating them. You got Kyrie. He could be possibly leaving next season, and we'll see how the young Bucks gel with Hayward and Kyrie Irving. That's going to be interesting because they're going to have to take a lesser role. Jaylen Brown, Tatum will be the focus. All right, so obviously LeBron's 3-year deal guaranteed, and then the fourth year is an option, so he can opt out, so he can still control his future. But the man made bank, for sure. So good for him. And he's out west. So awesome. Sixers don't have to worry about him in the East anymore. It's not going to be eating up all our cap space when we got to re-sign our young bucks. All good news, guys. If we use football analogies, LeBron was basically Tom Brady owning the AFC for so long. Yeah. He was always the hurdle for any team to get over in the East. I bet you the Raptors have to be the most happy team out of anybody, that most happy organization. Celtics can't play all their young guys. Yeah, it's definitely going to be an adjustment. You know, with the big leaps that Tatum took this year, now when you're going to interject Kyrie, who has to have the ball to really be effective, I want to see how they might. I mean, they'll still be a very good team, but it might hurt them a little bit. Yeah, Zach LaVine's out there, but problem is he's restricted, and Chicago can match any offer any team makes to him. So even if we offer him $50 million, Chicago has the rights to offer him. They're not going to let him go anyway. We drafted no shooters. Landry Shamit's a shooter, and so is Shake Milton. And we got Bolden. I went Leonard, but not for Sarge. You got to give something to get something, though. But J.J. Redick, I think this spells out that J.J. Redick is definitely coming back 100%. Probably more than what I like to have paid him, but it's a must at this point that we re-sign J.J. Redick. He better not be getting 27 mil again, but you let the other two go. He still hurts us defensively, but you still got to go after young athletic guys. Who are the equivalents of the Celtics? What do you mean by that? What are the equivalents to the Celtics? They're still the team to beat in the East, but they're going to try to acquire Anthony Davis. That's what I'm scared of. They've got more draft capital than anybody to do it. So the Pelicans could really lose out. They could possibly lose Boogie and Anthony Davis all in one shot, because they're not going anywhere in that West. I mean, Drew Holiday's a baller, and Anthony Davis is definitely a top 10 player. Probably like third best big in the game, maybe second. Now Boogie blown out his Achilles. I thought DeAndre Jordan was going to go to the Warriors. Thank God that didn't happen. But imagine if they did. Watch the Warriors. They could still land Dwight Howard. I like Boston. We tried to get AD. Everything, nothing will happen. Don't worry about it. Yeah, they're always active, though. You can't trust Danny Ainge. So we lost to the Celtics in the playoffs for the next 2 years. Nah, dude. We'll be all right. We'll learn from our mistakes. You got to remember, Boston was experienced in the playoffs, and we were a young team. I mean, there were not really D22. Yeah, there. Are you saying we're going to lose to them next year already just because we didn't sign LBJ? We'll be fine, dude. We'll be all right. We're going to be able to beat Boston. I think we have a good chance. Learn from our mistakes. We just got to see who we're going to sign in free agency. Yeah, we're both easily the top two best teams now in the East, with LeBron going out west. Celtics, I would put the edge over just because of coaching, for one, and just because of the assets that they have. Oh, well, at least the Phillies won. Yeah, I feel like this really shouldn't be a bad day for a Philly sports fan. This is great news. Everybody shouldn't take this to heart. It's not like we had LBJ and we lost him in the prime of his career. Who cares? The head coach already said we needed a superstar. Yeah, that's what worries me, that he's going to mortgage everybody away. I mean, Tatum in his first year, Brown didn't really play in the playoffs. Yeah, exactly. It's a learning experience for Coach Brown and for the young stars of the Sixers. Fultz really needs to turn into something. We'll have to see what Fultz is. We don't know. That's why I'm happy he's not playing in Summer League. You don't want to risk getting that shoulder messed up or having his mentality messed with or whatever. But I hope Hanlon also works on the kid's mentality to stop being such a little bitch. So hopefully he makes him mentally stronger. and works on that shot. But we still are waiting on Fultz. But I still think he's going to be a really great player. There's a reason he was a number one pick. So we can put that Tatum and Fultz stuff to bed and judge the trade 3 years from now. Lakers going to overpay for Kawhi for sure. Yeah, I hope they do. Now that they land LBJ, I am picking them to be in contention to acquire Kawhi Leonard. It's going to deplete their youth, and they're just going to have to throw money at it, and they're banking on the Kawhi wanting to re-sign there because they missed out on PG-13, and I bet you they regret it. The NBA will actually be interesting this year. Hey, it just pads the West even more, which kind of sucks. It's so lopsided. I was hoping that somebody would leave the West and come over to the East. But you figure we lost LBJ now. DeRozan is a free agent next year, too, so he could go out West. Time for Fultz. Make it or break it time. Yep. He really has to prove it. Prove himself this year, Fultz does. So work on that shot. Do what you do best. Stay faithful to the grind. If we make it to the finals, we will have a shot. These West teams going to kill each other. Let the slaughter begin. Let them all take each other out. Houston re-signed Chris Paul for a ton of money. A ton. I was wondering who they were going to sign in free agency too, but other than Paul, they haven't done anything. Clint Capella's still out there. Shock LeBron, multi-year deal. Yeah, I'm not. I mean, you figure this locks him up till he's what? He's going to be 34. So with the opt-out, he'll be close to, 38? My math's correct? Possibly 39? But his main goal is to be in the league for when his son is in the league. That's what he's always wanted to do, and possibly play on the same team as his son. They should be happy. I look at this as, the wait is over finally, and we don't have to worry about LeBron James coming here or not coming here and possibly ruining, Ben Simmons' development and eating up all our cap space. And he's out of the East. One less hurdle we have to worry about. All great news. Let the Lakers go purge and spend all their money and invest in signing free agents and superstars. You don't win championships that way. So, let them do that. Let them spend all their money. I mean, this is the organization that paid Luol Deng 50-some million? They still owe him 40 million? So, I'm cool with it. Go overpay for a guy that's older. LeBron's going to decline at some point, but he's looking towards his future. He doesn't have to do as much now when he's out in L.A. I mean, this team's a little better than Cleveland. I wouldn't say much. But if they acquire Kawhi, I don't know how those two would play together, but you're going to be losing some star power, and you're going to be losing a couple of first-round picks, too, to replenish that youth. I didn't want LeBron either, Dave. I love this. This is the great day in Sixers sports history right now. I'm ecstatic that we did not sign LeBron. I know Adrian's going to be so pissed. Really sad. But, we're going to see. Sixers didn't acquire it, but I'm going to get up ahead of you guys. I've been rambling on for an hour. We're going to see what else happens in free agency, but again, Sixers could be quiet. I said this a few weeks ago that I didn't expect it to be a really crazy offseason. What about a trade of assets for Kawhi? I don't know if you're just tuning in, but I wasn't. Per ESPN, the Spurs are asking for 3 first-round picks and 2 players from the Sixers in a deal. So it would be Rocco and Dario and 3 first-round picks to acquire Kawhi, who we don't know if is healthy for one or is going to sign an extension. But per ESPN, also, the Sixers are okay with dealing all these assets even though they don't have a commitment from Kawhi Leonard. So they're willing to go all in, knowing that he could not commit to the Sixers and not re-sign here and give all that up. If they're going to give all that up, if they're giving 3 first-round picks, I'm going to take somebody out and try to replace them. Yeah, I know it won't happen. I hope not. At least I hope it won't. But Spurs are going to be overly aggressive because they know they're not going to be able to re-sign Kawhi to an extension, so they're going to try to pull the wool over a team's eyes, and that could be the Sixers. Brett Brown has come out and said he's star hunting, so he wants to go out and acquire Kawhi. This is where not having a GM could really bite us in the ass. For 1 year, no way. Yeah, I know, Dave. It's scary to think, but Brett Brown and the Sixers are desperate to land a superstar in here to really put us over the top, and they feel like Kawhi's that piece, but I don't think he is, unless he's healthy. That would be a great trade if he is. It would be a steal, but you don't know. This is a make or break trade right now. Could be it's a huge risk, high reward, definitely. But I don't know if everybody's happy. I feel like a lot of Sixers fans are disappointed and upset. But leave your comments, concerns, why you think signing LeBron is going to hurt the Sixers' future, or whether you are happy about it and think this is going to benefit the Sixers. My opinion, this benefits the Sixers. Huge, in a huge amount. Apparently, LeBron meeting was a courtesy meeting. He debated between Cavs and Lakers. Wow, he debated between the Cavs? That's a surprise. It is his hometown, though. But he wants to go to L.A., which he did. Are you talking about Kawhi? Yeah, because he's from out there, but they said that about Paul George, too, so I don't, who really knows? Who really, really knows? But, yeah, if everybody's happy, leave your comments, concerns down in the comment section. This is Kyle Gaffner with the Bitter Birds. We need a star to get by the Celtics. No, we don't. We have 2 stars. Possibly another one, but we're still waiting to see on that player. But Kyle Gaffner with the Bitter Birds. This is a great day in Phillies, for Philly sports, for the Sixers. LeBron James signs with the LA Lakers, and possibly you're going to get acquired by, and Kawhi's possibly going to get acquired by them too. So we will have 2 worries that we won't have to really take into consideration anymore and not stress about this offseason. We couldn't beat them without Kyrie and Hayward. You don't know that, though, Brandon. We got experience under our belt. That's the biggest thing. They have the better coach, but having Hayward injected and Kyrie into that lineup is going to change a whole lot of things next year. And just acquiring LeBron James just possibly makes us beat the Celtics, but it doesn't make us beat the Warriors. All right? So everybody should be happy about this. This is going to hurt the Lakers, not benefit them. Mark my words. All right, Kyle Gaffner with the Bitter Birds. I'm out. Yes, LeBron to the Lakers. I'm stoked. So stoked. Awesome day. Awesome day. Peace.